What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive-In. My name is Monkey.
And I'm Goofball.
We are back, well, I'm back anyways, with Battlefield 1. Phil is playing Madden because I took too long, my bad.
It's all good. I like Madden.
And today we're going to be diving into the latest news from Ubisoft, and that is that they just want to let you know that they are still keeping true to their promise about taking a year off in between Assassin's Creed games, even though they're releasing Odyssey a year after Origins.
Yeah, I mean, that's alright. Get some creative juices flowing again.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everybody's blowing up if this is what they normally do, taking a year between games. Like, I didn't read the article, I just saw it, and my first reaction was good. Because I feel like Ubisoft needs to understand where they need to make a plan going ahead with where they want Assassin's Creed to be.
And typically they were doing that for a while. It was just everyone was super confused by their moves because they set Odyssey to release this year in October, I believe, in October.
Yeah, I think it's coming out soon. I'm not 100% sure.
So for that reason, everyone's like, wait, but I thought you guys weren't going to release games every single year anymore. And now they came out with this. They came out and said, hey guys, don't worry, we are still releasing games every other year, but the only reason we're releasing Odyssey is because it was already done. Essentially, what they said was the game is already done, and we expect to, instead of putting out another full-fledged Assassin's Creed game in 2019, I guess, yeah, 2019, they're probably just going to focus on like DLC and shit for Odyssey. Because apparently they said Odyssey is going to have a lot of extra content.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's really good because the base game looks like a copy and paste from Origins.
Exactly. And that's what I'm really worried about.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure it'll be great. First off, the idea of going to Greece, as we talked about in the last video, is badass.
It's it's a great concept. It's an amazing concept. It's just, and we talked about this again in the last video that we covered about Assassin's Creed Odyssey after the E3 reveal, but they're going 400 years before Origins. So it's kind of like wait, hold
this
up,
is the
guys.
origin story. And this is what happened 400 years before the origin story.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, the origins thing, yeah, that was a thing, but we're doing even more now. It's like, wait,
I know. But pretty soon it's gonna be like you're playing as Adam in the Garden of
fucking Eden.
Whatever it is.
Basically,
you're an assassin trained by a monkey and
trained by God.
Trained by God. Yeah, that's kind of the path they're getting to. It's like, okay, this is the origin story, you're good. And then they're going to drop a game to please all the Scientologists, and you're a molecule in space, trained by another molecule in space. It's like, where are we going with this, people? So that's
and then there's
why
evil
I'm
molecules in space.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah,
those damn
so basically with this one, like, I'm glad that they're actually going to be taking the year off, because that was the biggest thing. Like, I was super happy that they took a year between, what was it? Well, it was, oh yeah, they took a year between Syndicate and Origins. Yes. And that was great. And they dropped Origins, and Origins was a freaking fantastic game. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And Syndicate was also a good game, but when Syndicate released, the series was just starting to get really stale and so
we had a bad taste in our mouth from Unity and French Revolution. That's what I don't understand. Like, I feel like Assassin's Creed is struggling to come up with stuff anymore.
Oh, that's very true.
They're running out of dynasties.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They have so much they could do, but I mean, they've only done one thing in the U.S. so far, and that was the American Revolution.
And
they
it
could
was,
do fucking.
It was one of the best ones.
It was, and they could do Civil War.
Fun.
They could do Spanish-American War. They could do the Mexican-American War. There's so much shit they could do. I want a Mexican assassin. Just saying, that would be dope.
That'd be cool.
But I mean, there's literally so much they could do in like modern history, quote unquote. Like after
that'd be cool. Like I remember they were, I can't remember which game it was. I want to say it was Unity, where you had like you time traveling and you were climbing the Eiffel Tower in World War II.
Yeah.
And I was,
it was like little,
you know, that really brings to question, like, could Assassin's Creed survive in the modern era? Like,
yeah, like it was like that whole. Actually, I think that was Assassin's Creed 3. Because that was in like modern day.
I can't remember.
That was in modern day because you were still Desmond.
Remember. Okay.
Yeah, so that was Assassin's Creed 3. But anyways, yeah, I know what you mean. So having like doing other shit, even in like modern history or like doing more like modern day assassin stuff, because I missed that from the Desmond era. Like running around in modern day as a assassin-ish person.
Yeah, like, I mean, they could split up their groups of people working on these games. They could have, like, one group going into history and another group going into the future.
They really could.
Like, I could see ninjas being popular in the future.
That would be dope.
Like, it kind of be breaching the lines of Splinter Cell, maybe, like, some of all that stuff. Like, that'd be cool, but, you know, I don't know if that's a conversation for another video, but the direction that Assassin's Creed is heading. Like, where is it going? Like, this break, I hope them announcing it is telling us as fans, hey, we're taking some time to reflect and make a decision as to what pathway our franchise is going.
Like, there's a lot that Assassin's Creed, the guys over at Assassin's Creed, could really do series, but for some reason they're just going further back in time, and it's screwing up their timeline. Because going back and doing Origins was a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. It introduced everything. It explained so much, and then with Odyssey, they're going even further back in time, and it doesn't really make sense. The only thing,
an Origins for the Origins game.
Yeah, the only reason this game could work is if they decide to do the origin of the Pieces of Eden, which, I mean, apparently Leonidas' spear is a piece of Eden, but that doesn't really make sense. Well, you see in the trailers, like, the guy, Alexios, or whatever his name is, like, jumps down with the spear, and it, like, explodes. Now, either that's just some random super powerful spear, or if it's like, you know, magically infused. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm a big fan of magically infused weaponry.
Right?
That'd be cool.
That would make sense if they do. That makes
or maybe they took the spear tip and they molded it into the apple thing. What's it called?
The Apple of Eden. But I mean, overall, I'm still not super happy with Odyssey, and I think Odyssey is gonna go along the lines of Black Flag, where it's an Assassin's Creed game, but it's not really an Assassin's Creed game.
And you know what? That's okay.
I mean, yeah, to a point, but there's a reason I haven't gone back to Black Flag, and it's because it has no story.
Okay. I've played that game 3 times, I'll have you know.
Of course, but did you play it for the gameplay or the story?
The story.
Are you sure you didn't
pay attention to
Are you sure you didn't play it just to be a pirate?
I didn't play it for the Assassin's Creed story. I played it for the pirate story.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Assassin's story.
That's one of the few games where if you watch like all the cutscenes and you get the feel for all the pirates, at the end of the game, you're like tearing up because that final cutscene is so good. Like, oh my goodness. That one, like, it's one of the most emotionally driven games I've ever played.
Oh,
so
I agree.
You hold your tongue and speak with respect, good sir.
No, I agree that it had a good story, but it just wasn't an Assassin's Creed story.
Oh yeah, terrible Assassin's Creed story.
That was my issue with the game. Like, I thought it was a fantastic fucking game, but if I'm talking about like my top Assassin's Creed games, Black Flag does not make the cut because it's not an Assassin's Creed game.
It's not even there. It's the #1 pirate game of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Until Skull and Bones releases. I mean, I really hope Skull and Bones is exactly like I really hope Skull and Bones is exactly like Black Flag, but we have no idea yet. But anyways.
Well, they said it is.
Well, yeah, we have
That's
to
a
wait
conversation
and see.
for the next film.
Exactly. But yeah, so I'm just happy that Ubisoft is staying true to their every other year release schedule, because that worked. It made sense. It was a great idea, and it allowed like the developers to actually take the time and make a really great game.
Yep, and I can't wait to see what
And
they
I
do
just
with
got
this
stabbed.
break.
Yeah, and now I'm going to be interested to see how they take Odyssey, because now they came out and said that Odyssey is going to have a shit ton of extra content. I'm wondering what is going to be that extra content exactly.
Well, I noticed they had spoken something about they were going to do enhanced naval battles. So they're bringing that back.
Honestly, naval battles were great in Black Flag, but that was about it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they keep pushing the naval battles thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a fun feature of Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag, but I mean, come on. Okay, this is ancient Egypt, all right? They don't got cannonballs; they have archers, and that only gets
that's what it is in this one. Also, it's gonna be archers and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's fun, but I don't really, honestly, I don't really care.
Ancient Greece did have some cool boats. I'm gonna say that.
They did. No, I'm one.
So,
yeah, I
be cool
get
to see that.
I totally get that.
You know what they need to make now? A Viking Assassin's Creed.
See, now that would be freaking dope.
That'd be dope, and it would be kind of like you got that Norse mythology. See how that conflicts with the Garden of Eden and all that stuff.
Now, when does Norse mythology take place in terms of their current timeline?
Oh, it's like, I want to say, it's got to be like 400 AD.
Okay, cool.
Do a quick Google.
I'm horrible
it's
when it
after.
comes to like learning, like knowing the dates off the top of my head. But yeah, so yeah, that would be a super dope idea. And now that like, freaking, God of War got so huge in their Norse setting, it would be a perfect time to introduce a Norse or a Viking assassin. That would be dope.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Leif Erikson, who's like the most popular Viking.
Happy Leif Erikson Day. There you go. See, that's perfect. Fucking, they could even introduce Leif Erikson and introduce like the whole finding the new world, new Valhalla, aka America.
They could even make that lead into that Assassin's Creed Rogue.
That's true. That's fucking true. There you
Get some
fucking go.
timeline action, crossover, Easter
eggs.
There
you go. That would be super dope. And Assassin's Creed Rogue was a very underrated game.
Oh, it was so good.
It was surprisingly good. It only released for the current gen at the time, so PS3 and Xbox 360, and that's why a lot of people didn't play it.
New gen now, right?
Yeah, they remastered it for new gen. But up until then, it was only.
So if you haven't played it.
It is.
Especially when you're disappointed. Yeah, I'm talking to the fans here. If you haven't played it, I very much recommend you play it.
Yeah, it was a very slept-on game. It was a very slept-on game, but it was definitely worth it. It was basically like playing Force Unleashed, essentially, because you're hunting down assassins and shit, and that's just cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was super dope. But anyways, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Odyssey and what extra stuff they're going to be putting into it. Since they said it's going to be like basically a year of extra features and extra game modes and shit. I really hope they're not all going to be fucking paid DLC.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a season pass with a deal.
Yeah.
You have to get the season pass to get it. But I'm okay with that because, you know, they're still working hard to make the game.
This is true. This is true.
So.
I would love to see
so much more to the game.
This is very true. I mean, they expanded on the original story for Origins, and that was super cool. Yeah. Like their first DLC was the Hidden Ones, and that was directly following the events of Origins, and it was dope.
Yeah.
It was super nice. But then they started doing like the supernatural aspect of it, and I got bored. It was fun.
I mean,
but
that's pretty Egyptian, though.
Yeah, I mean, they did like the whole like gods thing where you got to fight the Egyptian gods, and that was kind of fun. But I mean, I wanted more, you know, assassin action.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. See, I want more puzzles. Like,
Yo,
remember
yeah,
when you had to like work your way through the cathedrals? Like, where's that?
They had
Where's
that.
it gone?
They had that sort of in Origins. Like, just getting into the damn
Sort of.
pyramids was fucking difficult.
Yeah, that was difficult, but like, you remember how in order to do, like, to find the pieces that you needed, everywhere you went was a different puzzle?
This is
Like,
true.
that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I missed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Those are a lot of fun, and I hope they bring them back.
That'd be cool.
But guys, we want to know your thoughts about what do you think about the current state of Ubisoft and their Assassin's Creed series. Whether you're hyped for Odyssey or whether you're very skeptical like Phil and I are. Whether you like the whole 1 year break in between the games. I like how they actually explained why they're releasing Odyssey a year after, basically because it was already a finished game. So, I mean, they didn't have to do much work for it, so it made sense. So yeah,
I mean, they could have just waited. But,
they could have, but I mean, that's just holding on to a game, you know, and all their DLC for Origins is already out, so. They could have spaced Origins out a lot more. But guys, let us know what you think about the current state of Ubisoft. If you like this video, please slam that like button.
Super slam!
If you're new to the channel and you want to see more of us going over new stuff about TV, video games, and movies, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notified whenever we go live. We are still trying to get up to 100 subscribers and do that free game giveaway. So now is the best chance to subscribe. If you haven't already, there's a lot of great stuff coming, a lot of new features coming to the channel. So jump on now while you can, guys. Phil, thank you so much for coming on today.
And thank you for having me.
Ladies and gents, stay excellent, and we'll see you in the next dive-in.